Among these 108 Upanishads, one Upanishad is Kaivalya Upanishad. It's a very beautiful small Upanishad belonging to Atharva Veda. And in this Upanishad, there is a dialogue between Ashvalayana and Brahmaji, Pitamaha. Most of our Upanishads are in dialogue form, indicating that one needs to learn this Vidya from a teacher only. And therefore, our Upanishads are generally presented in the form of a dialogue. And here, Shishya Ashvalayana goes to Brahmaji and requests, Adihi Bhagavo Brahma Vidyam Varishtham Sada Sadbhis Sevyamanam Nigudham Yaya Chirat Sarva Papam Vyapohya Parat Param Purusham Yati Vidwan. O Brahmaji, O Pitamaha, O grandfather, please teach me that Brahma Vidya, which is pursued by, resorted to by good people. Sometimes people ask this question, Swamiji, my spouse is a good person, then why should he study Vedanta? Or somebody himself may ask, I am a good person, Swamiji, I am leading my life very well, then why should I study Vedanta? Our answer to them is, in fact, you are the person who should study Vedanta. So Vedanta is to be studied by a person who is good, means having good qualities. It is not that Vedanta is studied by people who are not good. And therefore, we need not have that particular wrong concept that I am a good person or he is a good person, then why Vedanta? Vedanta is meant for those people who have got values, good qualities, and to get the fulfillment of good qualities, Vedanta is studied so that you discover yourself to be limitless, which is beyond good and bad. And then it is said that this Brahma Vidya is that by which person becomes free from all papa. Person attains limitlessness, Purusham Yati, attains Purusha, attains Paramatma as oneself. And then Brahmaji starts his teaching by saying Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yogad, Avehi. Both the readings are there, Avehi, Avehi. So Brahmaji is telling, Avehi, may you know that Paramatma, how? Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana Yoga. With the help of these three sadhanas, may you know that Paramatma. Here, one thing we need to note is that Sakshat Sadhanam, the direct means for getting Brahma Vidya, is Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasanam only. Shravana means listening to the scripture from the teacher. Mananam means deliberation upon the teaching so that our understanding becomes a conviction free from doubts. And Nididhyasanam means assimilation of the teaching so that our understanding is free from viparita bhavana, habitual error. Now, these are the three main sadhanas. And out of these three also, the most important sadhana is Shravanam. Because Shravanam is the operation of the means of knowledge. And any knowledge comes by operating the means of knowledge. And Shravana being the operation of the means of knowledge called Shastra, Therefore, Shravanam is considered to be very important. But here, in this shloka, three contributory sadhanas are talked about, which will help you to do the main sadhana of Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. And those three sadhanas which contribute to the pursuit of knowledge, the attainment of knowledge, are Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana Yoga. Shraddha means Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddha. That is how we studied in Tattva Bodha. So sense of validity in the sentences of Guru and Vedanta. That is called Shraddha. Another definition given of Shraddha is Vedanteshu Pramanya Buddhihi Shraddha. Looking upon Vedanta as the means of knowledge of oneself being limitless. And this Pramanya Buddhi is very important, because if Pramanya Buddhi is not there in Shastra, Shastra will not be available as Pramanam. And if Shastra is not available as Pramanam, I cannot get Prama, the knowledge. And therefore, it is important that I look upon Shastra as Pramanam. But when we use the word Shraddha, many people have got some objection, some reluctance, some reservation. Because the modern approach is not to have Shraddha. Be always suspicious. Be always doubtful about everything. Whereas here we are saying that look upon Vedanta as the means of knowledge. But here we need to know that Shraddha does not mean we just swallow whatever Shastra says. We don't ask any question. We should not entertain any doubt. This is not what is expected in Shraddha. If you have Shraddha, then also you can have doubts. But your doubts will be to understand the vision of Shruti. Your doubts will not be to dismiss what Shruti says. Therefore, doubts or questions are not against having Shraddha. Shraddha means I look upon the Shastra as the means of knowledge. Somebody may ask, how do I know that Shastra is the means of knowledge? My question is, your eyes are means of knowing forms and colors. How do you know? You have used it. Any pramanam can be understood to be pramanam only when you use it. Similarly, to know that Shastra is a pramanam, to get confirmation that Shastra is a pramanam, I need to use Shastra. Means I need to be exposed to Shastra. With this attitude that Shastra is the means of knowledge, let me discover how. And with that open-mindedness, without having any prejudices, I remain exposed to Shastra. That is called Shraddha. So Shraddha in Shastra and also Shraddha in the Acharya who is unfolding Shastra. I need to have Shraddha in the Acharya that the teacher who is teaching knows the Shastra, and also the teacher is my well-wisher. He will not mislead me. She will not mislead me. That also is required in the pursuit of knowledge. So Shastra Shraddha and Guru Shraddha. The third Shraddha we talk about is Ishvara Shraddha. I trust in timing and wisdom of Ishvara. I trust the order of Ishvara. Anything that happened in my life, anything that is happening in my life, anything that is going to happen in my life was in order, is in order, and will be in order. So I look upon Ishvara as the infallible order. And I have Shraddha in Ishvara that whatever happens will be in order. And therefore, I am in order, my life is in order, everyone is in order. A great, what is called, sentence we hear is Sarve Bhavanti Sthane. All are in order. I keep appreciating the order of Ishvara, having trust in this order of Ishvara. That also is Shraddha. And little bit more also we add that whatever happens in my life will finally be a blessing. Immediately I may not be able to see it, but finally Ishvara's expression in the form of various situations will be a blessing for me. And that also is Shraddha in Ishvara, which is also important for the pursuit of knowledge so that we can remain stable in our pursuit. And last Shraddha is the Shraddha in myself. Many people, they lack this Shraddha in oneself. Shraddha in oneself means I look upon myself as capable of pursuing this moksha. I don't worry about the success or failure of it. I look upon myself as capable of pursuing. I deserve to pursue this moksha. I deserve moksha. I am capable of pursuing this moksha. When and how, I need not bother about. But I am capable of pursuing moksha. Whatever is required to pursue moksha or pursue self-knowledge is there with me. At different degree, at different level, in different degree it is there, but it is there with me. So that is Atma Shraddha. So these four types of Shraddha, Shastra Shraddha, Guru Shraddha, Ishvara Shraddha, Atma Shraddha, are required for the pursuit of knowledge. The second thing is bhakti. Puja Swamiji very nicely says that this word bhakti indicates the necessity of the grace of Ishvara in our pursuit. Our efforts are definitely required, but we need some grace of Ishvara. In fact, it is said, Ishvaranugrahadeva pumsam advaita vasana. The desire for knowing this non-dual self is by the grace of Ishvara. And I earn the grace by devotional activities. So devotion, reverential love for the Lord is called bhakti, and the expression of my devotion called devotional activities, they are also called bhakti. So bhakti here refers to both my reverential love for Ishvara. Satu asmin parama prema swarupa. So I have love for the Lord. In fact, the Lord alone is my goal. Moksha and Ishvara are not two different things. So I look upon Ishvara as my goal and I love my goal. I have reverential love, commitment for the goal which is in the form of Ishvara. And thus, Ishvara Bhakti, reverential love for the Lord, is also the second requirement. And this Bhakti can be seen in the form of mumukshutvam as well. My intense desire for moksha can also be seen as bhakti. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukriti norjuna artho artharthi jignasu gnani cha bharatarshava. So, artaha, jignasu, artharthi and gnani, these are the four types of devotees. So, jignasu, one who wants to understand Paramatma, is also a devotee. Devotion can be expressed in various ways. Devotion can be expressed through puja, can be expressed through parayanam, kirtanam, or devotion can be expressed through the study of Shastra. So we need not have such division that these people are devotion, bhakta people and we are Jnana Marga people. Let us not create such division. We also have the devotion for the Lord. So we need not have complex about not having devotion. When we are studying the Shastra, we are Jignasu Bhakta. And thus, bhakti in the form of reverential love is one of the important sadhanas. And because of this bhakti alone, I will have perseverance in my pursuit. This bhakti alone will keep me going in my pursuit. Because in this pursuit, there may be some ups and downs, sometimes some challenges, physical challenges, emotional challenges, intellectual challenges. And in those challenging situations, what can keep us going is our devotion for the Lord, our devotion for this moksha. And that is why this pursuit, the sadhana of bhakti is considered to be important. The next one is dhyana yoga. The sadhana of dhyanam. The word dhyanam means sajatiya vritti pravaha dhyanam. A flow of similar thoughts is called dhyanam. And this dhyanam is of two types. One is called upasana rupa dhyanam. Other is called nididhyasana rupa dhyanam. Upasana rupa dhyanam is dhyanam, meditation in the form of upasana. And what is upasana? Puja Swamiji used to give this definition very often. Saguna Brahma Vishayaka Manasa Vyaparaha. Mental activities centered on Saguna Brahma, otherwise called Ishvara, the Lord. So, in some way or the other, I entertain a flow of thoughts in different ways. And that flow of thoughts is centered on Ishvara. This can be done in various ways. One is simple upasana, simple dhyanam on Ishvara is manasa japa. Mental japa also becomes upasana because it is mental activity and centered on Ishvara. Therefore, you pick up some japa mantra and do it mentally. Then that also becomes upasana. Second form of upasana is you visualize some form of the Lord, some vigraha or picture with open eyes and minutely observe all parts of the vigraha of the Lord. And then close your eyes and try to visualize that form minutely, starting with the nails of the Lord up to the top of the head. And that also becomes Vigraha Dhyanam, one type of Upasana. Or one can do Manasa Puja, worshipping the Lord mentally. That also is one type of Upasana. Or one can do Vishwarupa Dhyanam, looking upon the Lord as the one manifesting in the form of this world. So, all the mountains and trees and all of them are various parts of Ishvara. Thus, various ways I mentally get connected to the Lord and I maintain a flow of thoughts centered on Ishvara, that is Upasana. And thus, various ways we can meditate upon the Lord, and that is called Upasana, which is useful for earning the grace of Ishvara, called Anugraha. It gets me Chitta Naishalyam, the steadiness of the mind. And also, it helps me appreciating Ishvara's presence. I can bring Ishvara in my life more and more. And that is very important and useful for the pursuit of knowledge. And therefore, the Shraddha, Bhakti, and Dhyanam are the contributory indirect means for attaining self-knowledge. And this word Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana are also interpreted to indicate three direct means for knowledge. That is, Shraddha represents Shravanam, because Shravanam is done Shraddha Purvakam alone. This Bhakti indicates by dwelling upon the Lord, which is suggestive of Mananam. And Dhyanam, of course, represents Nididhyasanam. Therefore, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, these three words can represent Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasanam, which are the direct means. Or Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana can represent the contributory means, the sense of validity in Shastra and Guru, Bhakti, devotion for the Lord, and devotional activities centered on Ishvara, and Dhyanam, Upasana. These three are indirect means, and we require both. Indirect means also required to prepare ourselves. Direct means are required to get the knowledge. And by this knowledge, we discover freedom. When we are free from any dependence upon the world. Moksha is not a mysterious happening. Moksha is discovery of my inner freedom. Freedom from dependence upon the world to be happy, peaceful, and secure. That is what everybody is seeking in one's life. And that one discovers by this pursuit of knowledge, which is by Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam, which is by Shraddha, Bhakti, and Dhyanam. And I pray to Bhagavan that all of you follow this sadhana of Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyanam in the form of devotion, etc. And also Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam. And all of you are exposed to some teacher of Vedanta. The faces, most of them I saw, all of you are exposed to the teacher of Vedanta. So we are very blessed that we are part of this tradition. And in Bangalore, Arsha Vidya Kendra, Swami Satchidanandji is teaching Vedanta, guiding the sadhaka. And I wish him all the best. I wish all the sadhakas very best in their pursuit of knowledge. And we pray to Bhagavan that maybe continue our pursuit till we discover inner freedom forever. And that is the fulfillment of life. Human life is meant for discovery of this inner freedom. Maybe fulfill our life by the discovery of this inner freedom. With this prayer, I conclude and I thank all the donors, supporters, all the trustees of the Arsha Vidya Kendra. Thank you all.